Over 15 years ago, we all thought that the corporate executives of Nickelodeon eliminated the greatest threat to mankind, Zim and his idiot robot dog. We thought they were all gone forever. But now, they're back. They were hiding inside of a toilet the whole time. Mankind is about to end. All because Invader Zim is back. Okay, I think I might be over-exaggerating it a little bit. Hey guys, Invader Zim Enter the Florpus just came out on Netflix. We're all doomed to pay Netflix for subscriptions. Anyway, so I watched the movie already, and it was amazing! So if you guys have never seen Invader Zim before and you think, oh, this movie looks pretty good, go ahead and watch it. The opening scene of the movie actually explains the premise of the show. So if you're a newcomer to Invader Zim, this movie's a good jumping on point to see why everybody loves it so much. This movie is incredible, just like the TV show was and the comic books. So yeah, I highly recommend this film. If you've ever watched Invader Zim before, you want more Invader Zim, you were sad that the show got canceled, and you haven't read the comic books yet because you don't like reading, then yeah, check out this movie for sure. It's worth a Netflix subscription because it's so good. But yeah, I hope though that eventually Nickelodeon just releases this movie and also Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling on Blu-ray and DVD, just so, we don't have to pay Netflix trillions of dollars for subscriptions just so we can watch these cartoons. So yeah, I really love this movie. I love the new art style inspired by the Invader Zim comics. Is it disappointing that it's not exactly the same as the old show? It's not disappointing for me anyway, because the old show is pretty dated looking. Like, it had a cool art style for the time, but it doesn't look too good anymore. And it was made back before we really started making all animation digital. It was kind of made in that weird gray area between classic cell animation and the rise of digital animation. Invader Zim was actually one of the first cartoons to ever have any CG elements in 2D animation. It wasn't the first. Futurama beat them, but, it was a pioneer, and now it's so commonplace in all the cartoons nowadays. Now it's time to get into some more spoilery elements. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, then go watch it. The first half of the movie is straight up an adaptation of the first issue of the Invader Zim comic. However, it quickly diverges from the comic whenever it's time for phase 2 of Zim's evil plan. In the comic, he actually remembers what his plan was and starts executing it immediately, heading for outer space to do his thing that I won't spoil for you so you can go read the comic. But in the movie, he forgets what his evil plan was, and he just calls the tallest, not knowing what he's going to do next. Oh no, of course, the tallest are annoyed to find out that Zim is still alive. 'Cause why wouldn't they be? Where the movie goes from there, I do love it. I love it. But at the same time, like, Zim's plan that he comes up with is to teleport the Earth in the path of where the tallest are going. So his plan is just to get the tallest to come to Earth, which that's already something he tried to do in an episode of the show. More specifically, the best episode of Invader Zim, the backseat driver from Beyond the Stars. And yeah, I kind of wish that they didn't just do that again, but this movie just does it in a really funny and different way. It's not the exact same way, of course. In Backseat Driver Beyond the Stars, Zim just tried to control the massive and steer it towards the Earth, where he just teleports the Earth in this movie to where the massive is. It's different, of course, but it's just something that Zim's already tried to do before in an episode. So it feels kind of rehashy, and yeah. And then, of course, again, the opening scene of the movie is already an adaptation of the comic. So there's a lot of stuff here that I've just already seen, and so this movie just really made me hope that if we do get more Invader Zim animation, it will be different from the comics, different from what we've already seen in the TV show. I want to see more new characters. I want to explore the Invader Zim universe some more, and yeah, the new stuff that this movie introduces is great. I love the Florpus whole concept. I love all the crazy visuals we see in this movie. This movie has top tier animation. I loved Professor Membrane's new robot arms. I love the ending of the movie. I love the anime inspired sequence at the beginning of the movie. I love all the new stuff here. And it's funny, like, finally being able to hear the actors say some of the quotes from the comics that are just top tier jokes. The comics are amazing. I didn't really need to see those scenes animated, but not everybody's going to read the comic books, so it's fine. But I just hope that we get more Invader Zim animation in the future that is different from the comics, because the comics already exist. I can read them. I own them on my shelf. Also, I just love all the little details in the movie. Like, whenever Gaz is playing her video game, instead of it being the Game Slave 2, like in the show, it's now the Game Slave 4. Because the PlayStation 2 is no longer brand new, it's all about the PlayStation 4 now. So it makes sense to change it to Game Slave 4. I also really like that they got Justin Roiland to voice a character in the movie. It was nice to see one new actor in the movie that wasn't in the TV show, and Justin Roiland fits because he's the creator of Rick and Morty, and that's another show that parodies sci-fi tropes. One last little nitpick I have for this movie is that they say that Tech's ship is still broken in this movie like it was in season 2, and it still can't fly, but they fixed that in the most horrible Xmas ever. So yeah, that's a continuity error. That continuity error wasn't in the comic either. It could still just fly like it did in the most horrible Xmas ever. But instead in this movie, nope, it still can't fly, we gotta fix it. It's really weird that this movie has that continuity error, considering that the movie has Minnie Moose, and that episode is the only episode of Invader Zim with Minnie Moose in it. So yeah, a little weird. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. If you like this video, then please check out my Twitter, where I'll be talking about this movie a little bit more. And stay tuned for my YouTube channel whenever they make another Invader Zim movie. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye!